Pompey first of all, with for Sam Hudson go with McDermott. It's then Arnie, Martin Howard, Sizen Strait, Asifo, Buckland, Singer, Clout and Agu. It's then Lewis, Chioma, Phillipson, Hammond, Wilson, May and Thomas. And Leeds United have fielded a couple of recognisable names for those that watch the 21s. Rob Etherington's team is Kenyon, Firth, Bird, Pickles, Billett, Cresswell, Vincent, Chadwick, Render, Morris and McDonald. At the bench, Wood, Watson, Philpott, Thompson, Whitehead, Mills and White. Leeds, fingers crossed the players are a little bit calmer than Ben. And these games, when they get the chance to play at stadiums, Fratton Park is one of those stadiums that is so well known to English Football League fans around the country. Pompey is 9th in the Youth Alliance table. They've got 5 wins from 10 matches, though. In their last league game, they were thumped 4-1 by Swindon, but they did beat Plymouth in their last game in this competition. And a rather unique kick-off routine, with the player coming across the circle takes the lead straight back in possession, only a clearance though. So a chance for some new Leeds players, perhaps for the future. And as per usual, some people connected to the club from near or far have found themselves at a game involving the youngsters and already making themselves heard, which is great to have for the players inside that first minute of action. As Will Firth goes back at full-back. Cresswell slots into his more familiar position as a centre-half, where the number 6 tonight, he's played number 8 for the 21s, so adaptability, we say all the time, is so crucial, and you see it now in the men's first team at all levels, with players having to play, different positions. Wingers now asked to play wing back. It isn't just the traditional setup that Mr. Parker was used to in his day. Dreamed of a striker, but played left back. And there was no sign of you moving anywhere else, Ben. But it just seems so simple for Cresswell to just slot back in there. We'll break off as Pompey come forward, but at least I guess if you had to be a bit of a traditionalist, you've got your most experienced defender at the heart of defence, no doubt talking to the players and leading from down there.
You certainly have. As we're breaking down this left-hand side, we've got numbers down there.
Yeah, McDonald carries on his run. Good ball into the box. Leeds had 3 shirts there. All of them have missed it. It's out to Vincent, who's one of those players that's had that 21's exposure. Now with Firth. Firth to Cresswell, now across to Billett. Coburn Bird had a couple of appearances for the 21s, and he was one of those members of this 18s Cup run last season. Started that game against Norwich, the first for Leeds in the comp. Into Cresswell, who didn't really feel like he had the time to turn on that ball and got rid of it pretty quickly. Of course, it was this competition last year where Rory Mahadi managed to make a name for himself in that penalty shootout heroics against Sheffield United. Other important saves as well. We've already seen, Ben, tonight is just about tonight. There's nobody looking too far ahead, but overall the academy has to be about development, and some of these players playing tonight could be in the 21s next year as a penalty appeal. Immediately the referee said no, but Donald Ben got goal side. Your thoughts there?
He did get goal side, you're right there, Tom, because it's a great pass by Kenyon, the goalkeeper, in behind the fullback and centre-half of Portsmouth, playing a high line. We know the pace McDonald has. For a split second, he did get half a yard in front of the defender. I just think if he continued for a second longer, the referee would have even bigger of a decision to make, but great pass by Kenyon.
Vincent charging forward. Still going, the Leeds number 7. Deflection on the cross, and
yes!
Cracking header. Right place, right time. Jacob Render wasn't put off by the deflection from Vincent's cross, and right back across the goal. Pinpoint, Leeds United lead.
That's a great start. The pace, the precision, players in the right place, and for a striker in Render, you couldn't wish for a better chance inside the opening 4 minutes. But it's all about Vincent on this right-hand side. Drive down to the byline, cuts the cross back. And as I mentioned for Render, right place, right time, great header. Keeper's not saving that. What a start.
Yeah, really good work, as you say, Ben, from Vincent, and just showing that maturity perhaps that he's built in recent weeks. he could have gone early with the cross, but of course the angle wasn't favourable. So he went back for a second attempt to see what was on offer. And of course, yeah, the deflection helped, but often players lose their focus when a ball's deflected. No sign of that from the Leeds number 9. And Leeds have an advantage early doors, which is great to see, and long may that continue. Here's Firth into the middle for a pass for Chadwick. And sorry, not for Chadwick, that was in fact Pickles, and he was looking for McDonald, misplaced. Pompey away with Martin getting away from trouble. Vicious ball over the top, asking the winger to chase after it, and even though there was a committed effort, it wasn't one with any success for Portsmouth as Bird gets hold of possession. McDonald, Render just checks his run. McDonald might have to go himself here. Out to Vincent. Vincent just gets his bearings wrong. Good opportunity that for Leeds, and there were several different instances there, Ben. Could the ball have gone to Render? Could McDonald have shot? The pass was wide, and then just seemed like nobody was in full control of what was happening.
That was a big moment, and it was a big chance. You can see the danger already that we're possessing the wide areas. Vincent with the cross, the assist for the opening goal. McDonald 2-3 times showing his pace, his trickery. This time cutting inside on his right foot. Should have just released the pass a little bit sooner to Vincent. He'd have had even more time to get his shot away. Just closed the space, just too much holding on to the ball.
Good work from Cresswell. Bird takes it forward. Was told at the last second to perhaps go back, but he'd already committed and made his decision, as had Render there. He was determined to go and get that ball back for Leeds. Cresswell back to Kenyon. Now Firth. And back to Cresswell again. Pompey man marking the majority of Leeds' midfield there. Cresswell went long to alleviate the pressure, and then Pompey got it back, and now they're on the attack this time with Agu. Number 11 in a central position, takes it from a teammate and still going, beats Firth. Agu just runs out of wriggle room and already looks a handful, an awkward player by the looks of things. Ben, I mean, I don't think the fact he never had it under control, but it actually helped him at first.
No, it did. And we've seen so many times in the FA Youth Cup, more the earlier rounds, early stages, that you have to match the opposition in terms of off-the-ball type of work, winning your challenges, winning your duels, second balls, and then hopefully quality can take over from that point.
Bird concedes a free kick, just tried to turn the defender, ended up pulling him to the floor. Conor McDermott is over this for Portsmouth. Chadwick goes to ground, just penalised the Pompey midfielder, although there was a decent enough protest, I think, from Richie Buckland. Plenty of time for Cresswell. For those just tuning in here to our LUTV coverage, Leeds lead by a goal to nil. Render's header from a deflected cross from Vincent. Ball Nice out from the back there from Leeds. Leeds maybe not settled since the goal, Ben, but at the same time, they're not under heaps of pressure, so maybe just going through the motions a little.
Yeah, I think the start to the game, you couldn't ask for anything more. 9 minutes played, goal up, away from home. Look relatively comfortable, but Portsmouth just starting to claw their ways back into it.
Pompey on the attack, and they've got plenty of width here with Martin. Good challenge needed, and Vincent provided it. Absolute cracker that from the Leeds winger.
He wasn't pulling out of that one, was he? And you always hold your breath when a player goes in like that, but comfortably got the ball.
Yeah, I think the Pompey player said he was 2 foot. I didn't. Obviously, the speed he was going at might have made it look worse, but referee certainly didn't see anything wrong with it, as Vincent's got work to do here now, and he will be penalised, the Pompey captain, for a foul in Teo Singer. And it's not one of those that Vincent, I mean, he might be able to feel the presence of the player, but he was blindsided really, so no sign of a player going to ground too early. McDonald. Birds try to join him in attack. He's got Render as well. McDonald's trying to do it all himself for now. Then the cutback, and I think it's a touch unfortunate that the deflections hit him in the chest. He has. But the positive we take from this, Ben, is the ability he's got to get past his man. Even though he was scrambling and pulling the arm back, McDonald had the better of him.
Yeah, keep giving the ball. It's simple as that. When you've got a winger like McDonald, even Vincent as well on this right-hand side, just keep giving him the service, because McDonald, we've said he's been quitting on his right. This time it goes on his left. And the full-back for Portsmouth doesn't know to stick or twist with him. And yeah, his confidence is up as McDonald. Keep feeding him that ball.
Pompey win. They wanted to take it a bit quicker, but eventually just pause a little and take it slow. Got the ball again, and it's that number 3 that's pushing forward pretty well for Pompey in the shape of Kieran Martin. Free kick which Martin will now plan to take. Never really cleared this for Leeds. Someone's going to get their foot through it. Sadly, Pickles missed his first attempt, but he was as brave as you like for the second, and now it's a foot race for Render to try and beat the Pompey defender. He got to him. It was Annie with the first block, and now McDonald's been released. Great first touch as McDonald gets away. It was Chadwick supporting him in possession. And he thought about going attacking there, Chadwick, but kept hold of security of that ball. Bird wins advantage from a free kick as a Pompey player swings the leg around the park. Not once, but twice there. This time though, Luke Straight with a better time challenge. And I mean, Pompey are testing the arm of Leeds Ben. It was some awkward defending, but nobody seemed to, massively. Yes, while they didn't deal with it originally as good as they'd like, there wasn't a mass panic. Bodies in there and support.
Yeah, it was. You're right in terms of just making it a little bit awkward. There were a couple of Pompey players spare on their back post, so that's just something to keep an eye on. But every time we go forward, it looks so dangerous. Yeah,
Render appeals like he's broken away and stayed on side, but then closer to the ball he got, the referee was more likely to blow the whistle for offside, as he did look to be a yard or two in front of the defender, Sizer.
Sometimes it's got to be this with Teo. Teo, work off chin. Work higher.
Taking his time. Pompey get the throw. Hosts, well, they've got possession. It's not exactly progressive. They're trying a few things, working angles, of course. This is where the Youth Cup does bring an interesting element to it, because teams are not used to playing against certain academies. Of course, some are really fired up for the occasion. There's no doubt Pompey are up for this battle. But we saw it last year, Ben, when we played Sheffield United. They played more of a physical style. Leeds with a, more, I guess, on the ground passing style. But Sheffield United deserved to push Leeds all the way. They were tremendous that evening. And this is not, me saying Pompey are an aggressive team, but they just try to work Leeds out, as they do here with a cross. Poor first touches. Asifo just went without possession. He will swing the ball back in, though. It's now Pickles. He's the wrong side, but he does enough with the head and then the clearance to get it away from trouble. But yeah, you sometimes find early doors in this competition with teams not able to get as much footage on each other. You're a bit standoffish a little bit, Ben.
Yeah, and this is what this competition does throw up in terms of different styles. And rightly so, you want to be tested in different ways, like you're not in the league, and going to get tested here if we're not careful.
Cresswell bails out Will Firth, who, rather than try and clear, was looking to just take it away from one last Pompey player first. Offside against the Pompey man. So a nice and easy situation for Leeds to defend. Cresswell pass goes in front of Morris. Just giving Pompey a chance to have a crack, but misplaced the effort. He's behind the goal. Then obviously, Ben, it's a bit different from a good few decades ago, where players didn't often get to play on stadium pitches, but it's also exciting today, to get to play at the stadium that's well known across the Football League. There'll be, some of these youngsters won't remember Pompey at their pomp, because they'll be born in the similar year. But we've got FA Cup challengers and a Premier League team as well, and it's a big experience. And what do you expect the players to take from it? Some of them will have played in bigger stadiums, of course, the Etihad last year, but for those that it's new to, it's a good feeling for them, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just a new experience. Even travelling down, staying in a hotel the night before, or the match prep, building into a big game, travelling to the stadium. I presume all the players have never been down to Portsmouth before. Can't imagine they do holidays down here. Never mind play football down at Fratton Park, but it all adds to the experience, and that's what the added nerves, the excitement, it all builds into it. But you have to say, 18 minutes played, early goals done us a world of good, you have to say that. Great start. Since the goal, Portsmouth come back into it a little bit, but still say we are in control. Just say, from our point of view, we like to see a little bit more controlled possession, building between the lines like we know we can do, but so far so good.
A good turn from Chadwick, getting out of trouble. Wasn't happy with his attacking options, so it's safety first for the Leeds number 8. And the captain tonight.
Yes, Ollie, play close, yes, Chris inside, well played. Okay. Pass again, Bill.
Kenya misplaces his clearance out. Gets his body behind the shot though, makes no mistake there. Quick apology for those in front of him as he goes out to Joe Billett, who's got space.
Inside. Yes, Joe, go find it.
Kenyon this time on the money as he picks out his teammate in Will Firth. Back to Cresswell, and inside those first 5 or 6 minutes, Leeds were a lot more expansive. Pompey have maybe adjusted and just made it a little bit more difficult for Leeds to advance. So helping with the possession lost out from the back as the hosts come forward. Shooting opportunity, one that's taken, but it's a good save from Kenyon, stayed big. It's the slightest of touches that's tipped it over the bar to deny Agu once again. That's a top save.
Yeah, it is. We just played ourselves into trouble though. It's been a bit predictable in where we're trying to build up the play. Portsmouth worked it well. Good save in the end. I know it's straight down the middle of the goal, but you still have to get your hand up there to tip it over.
Again, Kenyon comes for it. I think he was about to catch it just before the defender got in his way, but he at least dealt with the danger originally. Leeds smother the taker, but failed to pick up the loose man. Another header comes in, and this time it was Ashlyn Sizer going for goal. So Leeds 2 players did the same thing, Ben, which, you know, in football it happens. But both went to close down the taker for getting the man behind.
It was lucky really, because as you mentioned, both had the intention to go close the man in possession. Thought they'd won the challenge, but ricocheted away to a Portsmouth player. Free header in the end, half a chance for Portsmouth, and just think for the moment in the game where we're at, just to slow it down a little bit. Even the throw-ins, free kicks, take a little bit of time out. Build your way back into the game, into the stage where we're dominant for the first half of this match.
Bill it back. So Kenyon. Cresswell goes crossfield to Bird. Well met by the fullback. Render, the goal scorer, takes it away. First time she's had to have a bit of a touch on the ball, and you can see what he intended to do was wanting to split the midfield and defence with one pass. The idea was pretty good, but unfortunately the execution was a bit too firm than he would have liked. But the pass was on though, Ben.
It was on. It was unlucky, was Render, because initially he does well holding up the ball, allowing the runners to go beyond him. Turns really well. As you mentioned, the pass was on. Just a little bit heavy with it. But a decent centre forward play by Render.
Morris doesn't get a touch to the ball, been quiet so far. The number 10 in terms of possession, he's worked very hard off the ball. It's not really his fault. The Leeds have not had that much of the ball to advance. Vincent got the assist for the goal. He's barely had a touch for 6-7 minutes in an attacking position. Here come the hosts again. Very faint handball appeal. Desperation really is. Clouts cross hit the hip of Cresswell. Clout again, picks out Martin. Leeds just got caught. Vincent comes back for a second attempt to slow this down. Good ball in, Kenyon deals with it, but if the touch had been in there from Teo Singer, it probably would have been a goal. So the pace perhaps suiting Pompey better, Ben. You know, they're a bit more methodical with their work. They're doing a decent job of creating chances. You know, Kenyon has had to make a couple of alterations in terms of coming off his line, punches, etc.
Yeah, almost every opportunity Portsmouth getting to the final third, they try and put the ball into the box. Definitely from crossing positions. As the referee's reaching for a yellow card. Was a late challenge.
A poor challenge that from the number 7 on this occasion is Jermaine Asifo, and he'll be carded. And are you in agreement with the official, Ben?
Yep, you can't make that challenge this day and age, unfortunately. I'll say unfortunately, it happened every single week. Back in our day, Tom, we'll sound really old now, back in our day, but did well just to spot the challenge last second as we're driving out with the ball. It was Joe Billett, centre half. Did well just to ride it in the end. But just in possession, we're just giving the ball away cheaply, allowing Portsmouth to pick up possession in these type of areas, allowing especially the back four, rest of the unit to push up the pitch.
Yeah, you are right with us showing our age. I always feel that when I look at the team sheet for the Youth Cup every year, which makes me feel more and more old. And of course, got to be excited for the future of these young men and what they could be in their careers. And so far, doing the club proud and themselves proud with their performance, leading by a goal to 0. As they look to go one better than the team last year. That's well down the line to Render, who this time has stayed onside. Vincent's trying to get up there with him, but it's an overlapping run more than anything else. Picks it up, the number 7. Those two combine for the goal, but the lack of support is evident by the fact that Vincent goes back to Billett at left centre half.
Need someone near me. Just close, just!
Pass the call. Tail over Chinners.
Freeze!
Chinners, underneath it, Chin.
Cresswell to Billett, further wide to Bird.
Control, Reese, control!
McDonald's trying to stay onside. It's a cracking pass if he has. Good strong challenge, but again, it's a good battle, Ben. We're starting to see a few that are forming because Kieran Martin at left back for Pompey's getting forward. McDonald against Michael Arney, the right back of Pompey. That's another good duel as well. And in fairness to the Pompey right back, he's enjoying the challenge. You know, he's not shying away from it. He's not diving in. That tackle was fair.
You can see what method he has tried to adopt now. Every time the ball goes to McDonald, he's just steaming in, not holding back, not waiting for cover. It's all or nothing, and McDonald will be aware of that. He's a very clever, intelligent player, so we're expecting the challenge to come to him. Hopefully next time he does get the ball in a 1v1 situation, he can just nip it past his mark, and then he's onto the centre half, so almost bearing down on the goalkeeper then.
Billett to Pickles, wide to Bird.
Cody managed the gap. Ashton the gap.
Josh, stretch!
Challenge from Pickles needed. He stayed brave, and likewise matched in midfield from Pompey's number 6, which is Luke Strait. And to McDonald again. Pompey engaging him early, try to force a mistake. All they do is give away a free kick.
Good. Don't have to play the pass. Good stretch you need to.
Again, Leeds just having to try and assess things, just seeing Will Firth make a run off the ball. And that allowed Vincent to pop back into right back. Morris dropped in as well. Didn't execute, didn't use it, but just try to mix things up a little bit. You know, both teams try to, I guess, set traps for each other. The game's really settled into rhythms. Maybe, you know, there is a decent enough pace to it, but we often say it at Academy Football. It has gone back into that like format of a bit of a chess game, really, of who can engage and force a mistake out of each other. Pompey trying to do that here. Good clearance from Cresswell. That'll go out for a throw, but yeah, there's nobody taking massive risk. It's all quite calculated.
No, it is. It's just become more of an arm wrestle, really, hasn't it? And again, under 18s football, you do find that you might not spot an option as clear as the under 21s, and then obviously it goes up another level, another few levels to the first team. So that can be the frustration for teammates making the runs, but you've got to stick together in every aspect.
Chadwick lost possession. Pompey tried to punish Leeds. It has stayed in play, this. Good challenge, though, from Will Firth. Commits and make sure it's gone behind, away for a throw. that missed the header. Just saw the winger Sifo coming in and just delayed the attack. Here's McDonald being fouled again. Leeds do have possession, so could have taken it quickly. Perhaps in a new form of a defence against McDonald. Ben fouled in the last 3 times now, very early as well. They're getting touch tighter than just making sure he's knocked off balance.
Yeah, I wonder if that's been a message coming from the sidelines and the Pompey dugout. Has to be because the first 10 minutes of the game they were standoffish. They couldn't get near McDonald, but they've been very aggressive in the challenges, and that's all over the pitch. But as we mentioned, you've got to stand up to the challenge. That's every level, every game. As soon as you do that, if you match the challenge, then you hope your attacking players can take over with the quality.
Good work from Firth, not only to win it before the Pompey man, then keep it alive for Leeds. Vincent taking a risk too many. Made amends, has he? No, he hasn't. First tackle was good, second he missed it. And Teo Singer finds the corner for Portsmouth to make it 1 apiece after half an hour. And sadly for Leeds' perspective, that's what happens at this level. Mistakes are made. You learn from them eventually. On this occasion, it's via a goal.
Yeah, and that's at any level. Make that type of mistake, you expect to get punished. Portsmouth have some good players. They're not going to let you get off the hook in that situation. It's all about reactions now. Can you put that to the back of your mind? Can you go again?
So 1 apiece. Render's opener cancelled out by Singer. McDonald just trying to trick too many. Sorry, Vincent, should I say. And some managers would allow tricks to be used and utilised, but 75 yards down the pitch. Just the wrong area to try it.
Yeah, wrong different, the wrong penalty area anyway. But as I mentioned, like, players going to make mistakes. You forget how young they are at times, don't you? But as I mentioned, about your development, about growing up as a footballer, is dealing with mistakes, putting to the back of your mind, as I mentioned. And can you go again? Can you do the good things? Can you get on the ball? Are you wanting to set players on in the right areas again?
Pickles just assessing things before taking that free kick. Didn't want anyone to catch him off guard for Pompey.
Josh, you're too wide.
Pickles dancing away again. The Pompey bench just really encouraging their players to up the ante on that defensive front, and they have been really switched on. The game continues. You don't know which team's going to tire mentally as well. Sifo to the byline, cuts it back. Slight header from Billett that maybe took it off its course. Was needed. McDonald dips in now. Room for Morris. McDonald's made a run to the left. It's Vincent on the right. Vincent back across goal to Render. There is McDonald. Keeper saves originally, but the tap-in's there. Support play from Leeds. Sensational. Cracking ball in from Vincent. Twice in a row now he's been on the periphery of the defence, just placing a ball across the box this time rather than curling it in with power. And Render went for it. McDonald followed in. And if at first you don't succeed, tap it in at the near post, Ben. 2-1.
It's a great response, really is, after conceding that equaliser. It's no surprise, really, that Josh McDonald gets his name on the score sheet. He's been the shining star so far in this first half. But he has to get a lot of credit to Jack Morris. He was the one who was driving forward with the ball, released the pass at the right time to Vincent. Great cross across the face of the goal, wasn't it, by Vincent? And there's Josh McDonald at the far post, doing what all good wingers should be doing, coming in off the line, taps it home.
It's the first time we've seen Morris be able to stretch the legs out as well. Number 10s, you know, naturally creative players, and the pass was perfect for Vincent to attack. I'm sure that'll do Vincent's confidence the world of good as well after that equaliser for Pompey, in which he'll feel it was his mistake. Great attitude, you just get straight back on it and attack, so fair play to that young man. Pompey do have a player totally unmarked for now. Leeds are quite nervous about it. Now there's the second one making a run as well. To the far post instead. Billett wins the first header. Bird clears of the volley instead. Agu runs. Morris stands his ground. Bird another good header. And McDonald's got goal side. He's got little room. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's stuck to his feet at the minute, but he just about gets caught out. Leeds done with 10 minutes left, and these games often, as you said before in the past, man, about character. You have to sometimes learn on the job. You learn more about yourself in a game where you don't do very well. And this has been a character test for Leeds. They're standing up to it as well. Things aren't as fluid as perhaps they would like, but of course in the league as well there's been some heavy defeats. This is a young group. There's a ton of under-18s players playing for the 21s. So then naturally you get more progression with 16s players playing higher. The main thing is that character on show is very strong.
Yeah, 100% agree with that, Tom, because if you look at the league results, just don't take too much into or look too much into that detail. As you mentioned, a lot of the under-18s are playing up with the 21s, so the under-18s have been using quite a lot of under-16 players, but it's all about the personal development of an individual, testing them higher up in different age groups, getting them through the system.
Vincent got away from his marker. McDonald's at the far post. Rendell will be coming in as well. Instead he's picked out a shot from McDonald. Frame of the goal. Deserved to nestle in that top corner. Tremendous effort. Leeds might get a second attempt. Vincent instead cools things off by going back. So McDonald's not always about a box of tricks and cutting in off the left. Just let him receive possession on the edge of the box and let him smack it.
It's a simple game sometimes, Tom. What a strike. Very little backlift. Almost seemed like the ball was stuck under his feet. I think the goal's still shaking by that shot.
Yeah, what an effort this is. Got out of his feet really well. His first touch a little bit close, but the second just allowed him to strike it, and just seemed so normal to him when it came back. I'd have been on my knees in frustration they didn't go in. He just thought, oh, never mind, I'll pass it sideways. Just shows you perhaps how often he does that in training as Pompey break away a Sifo. All of that Coven Bird who wrestles away. Energetic fullback Coven Bird, and he gets away down the line. It's a good challenge against another battle that's been enjoyable, and the Pompey player, of course, has been booked. So this is in a situation to monitor. There is Leeds fans in attendance tonight trying to influence the referee on why else would they not? I mean, was the ball won, Ben? If it's not, this has to be his last warning.
Yeah, you can see the captain's been called over. That's what the referee will be saying to the captain, to the player. Here's your final warning, and good play by Coburn Bird. Just went over to the player straight away after the foul, just to not milk it as such, but just make the referee aware of the situation.
Cresswell. One to Vincent. Just showed too much of it to Martin with his first touch. Clever play by Firth Originals. They've now closed him down though. I go into the box. Good block from Cresswell, who stood really firm tonight. He's looked like the experienced player back there, which we mentioned at the start. Vincent was going cross-field. It'll go to Render instead. Picked up by Chadwick. And we touched upon it earlier, Ben, about the players that are now stalwarts of that 21s team. Cresswell and Chadwick have played nearly every game. The development path is there, isn't it? If you're a player that was behind Reece Chadwick last year as an 18s player, 12 months later, you can think, well, actually, I could be doing what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the message and the platform the academy staff give to these young players.
Bird in the box misses. Render. Vincent meets it. Not too far away. You could tell as it left his boot it wasn't going in, but as first time connections go, Ben, I think often now in the modern game you get people expecting miracles of efforts. This is harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's a difficult finish, really is. Coming in at pace, off the line, weaker foot. You do well just to get that on target. But every time we've gone forward with a bit of conviction, we've moved the ball well, we've had options for the person in possession, that's when we've looked a really good team, and Portsmouth can't live with us when it's like that. Just need to string a few more sequences like that together just to hurt Portsmouth.
Yeah, Vincent turns away out of traffic and goes back to Billets. Smart play from the Leeds number 7. Chadwick doesn't like the option wide to Bird, so it goes back to Cresswell. Firth picked out Morris, bit of space for him. Now Vincent, scooped cross, not a million miles away from Render. His movement's been quite impressive. Bird back to Cresswell, to Chadwick, into Pickles. And Leeds are just spreading the ball around, Ben, but a little bit more pace to this.
Yeah, a little bit more tempo, win the passing. And just an extra option for that man in position, as I mentioned, just allowing people receiving a pass a bit more space, a bit more time.
Press the ball! Press the ball! Press the ball!
Yeah, foul from Leeds, just tripping up Jermaine Asifo.
In half, inside the pitch. Step! Get ready, Jack.
Dangerous ball for Firth to defend. Would stay touch tight but can't give a foul away here. Back into midfield for Buckland. Now with Howard, Buckland again. Firth dived in but got a toe to the ball.
Yes, Jacob, he's in a position where he can squeeze up.
Fall nicely for Pompey, but Pickles goes and makes a quick recovery. And this time the clearance has more loft on it. It's a lot safer for Leeds with a few minutes left, but a good response since going behind. We had maybe a 15-20 minute period, Ben, where Leeds were just struggling to assert themselves, but would you feel they've put themselves back on the front foot in all departments at the minute?
Yeah, they have. As you mentioned, great response from conceding that equaliser, especially from Vincent, as I mentioned. Players, all levels, even more so when you're younger at this level, this age, you make mistakes, but it's how do you go about getting over that mistake? Can you get back on the ball? Can you get back doing the good things you are good at in the game? Full credit to Vincent for doing that. Gets himself a second assist to put us back 2-1 in front.
Kick here though, Pompey thought about taking it quickly. Instead they're going to send their bigger bodies forward.
Keep us up, Chris.
And now trying to assert themselves. And again, they've got a bit of a plan up their sleeve to try and keep a winger wide, just to give Leeds a second doubt when it comes to the wall.
Ready, go.
Harry, lock it, Michael! Kieran!
Good header originally from Leeds. Firth picks up the pieces. The referee just gives the game a hold because the free kick went Leeds' way in that taking of the set piece. So offside perhaps, as Leeds can now build out from the back. Still 2-1 at Fratton Park to the Whites. Goals from Render and McDonald if you're just tuning into our coverage of this FA Youth Cup tie here on LUTV. Pickles with the up and under. Allowing Bird to chase. Such a powerful running style, Coburn Bird, and he's won a free kick. He's enjoying himself out there. He's put some good challenges in. You can see a little bit of a wind up there, just try to mention the foul, but Yeah, he's an all-action sort of fullback, Ben. Reminds me of yourself.
It makes me laugh every time he has a challenge. He just taps the opposition player on the shoulder. I'd love to hear what he actually says to him as well. But yeah, it's great to see him getting forward. That's a big part of Bird's game. Really strong runner with the ball.
Chadwick's delivery, powerful. Keeper comes off his line just ahead of Render. Could have been close that for Leeds with 30 or so seconds left of regulation time. Bird's got a lot of space here. McDonald stays on side. Early cross. Too close to the goalkeeper. McDermott comes off his line, second time in half a minute to collect possession. And 2 minutes of stoppage time added on at Fratton Park. First as well, knocked off balance, intercepted by Singer, well won back by Pickles, who's done that a few times last few minutes. Really important interceptions. Singer's worked very hard though to forward. Free kick given against him. I don't think there's that much in it, but of course we'll take it. We just regressed a little bit for half time. I think more about protecting this scoreline as it is, not making anything any worse, and just ensuring it's a 1-goal deficit. Unless they've got last 10 seconds here. The referee thought pretty early there, but Leeds United had it covered with a lunging challenge, but the full picture for that half not really shown, because there's a lot of chess match action in there with a really hard-fought contest. Main thing though, Ben, Leeds took their chances, created more, and will be pretty confident with the base they've built on. Well, no, he was on his last warning for a couple of sloppy challenges. So Ben, we were quite engaged in the game in that first half. It was tense on occasions. Leeds looked pretty classy when they actually got into a rhythm and really lifted the pace from second gear into third. So I'm sure optimism is high in the dressing room heading into this second half.
Yeah, it's all about how we're starting this half as well, because we all know how well we started the first 45, goal after 3 minutes, but if you start well on the front foot, just as a mindset, as a player, as a squad as well, you can really drive home that initiative. The third goal will give us a great advantage, great cushion within the game, but we have to do the hard yards, the horrible ball. It's an horrible collision just happened there. It's collided heads.
Yeah, that's fingers crossed. This is a quick impact injury and both players are okay and can continue. There's no blood or anything, and down for Pompey is Luke Straight. He's already sitting up, so let's hope it's a minor issue, which the precautions have always got to be taken with head injuries. Both players putting themselves in harm's way. It was Pickles going against Straight. Pickles has conceded a free kick. And that isn't the greatest concern, is it, for now? Good to see both players sat upright. And the main thing is that for now Pickles is up and walking on his own accord, and perhaps Straight just needed maybe a bit of a running repair to double check that he is okay. It's never ideal, of course, to clash heads, but a minute into the second half, far from ideal. Just had half-time Jaffa cakes, whatever they do nowadays, bananas, protein bars.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to work out, why is it a free kick to Portsmouth? It was just a collision of two players, surely.
Yeah, Leeds will be frustrated if there's a goal conceded here. Again, Pompey just making a late runner, so it's forced someone out of the wall for Leeds. But that head's clear. And the offside flag again, and that's been an area where Leeds have held really firm set pieces. Surely pulled back. Huge appeals from the Leeds bench. Bird again. Strong Joel, and again Bird on the wind up a little bit. I'm trying to think of Colin Birds like this in training. You wouldn't get him a Christmas card this year if you're a Leeds teammate. He just seems to love the game and winding people up, but not. I mean, he's getting a telling off here, but you do often get these players that just love it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's a natural Southampton fan and just really dislikes Portsmouth. There must be something involved with this.
Cresswell trying to stand his ground, standing up Harry Clout, and Leeds will clear for touch. Again, chopping off at the number 14, and Nathaniel Chioma's only been on the pitch 4 minutes and he's already annoyed him. So we need to try and put a lid on things because they don't want to be getting too involved. Free kick given away by Bird, and you say he's fired up, but you can walk yourself into trouble, and he's done so there.
Yeah, we just don't need to get involved in these little altercations in the challenges off the ball. I think that'll play into Portsmouth's hands, really, in trying to drag themselves a bit of control back into the game, and what's enabled them in this position, a really dangerous free kick situation.
So Renda taking up his position to cover the near post for the goalkeeper. George Kenyon headed away by Bird. To Kieran Martin, back across towards where the free kick was taken. Bird again concedes a free kick. He'll have to go in the book here, he will. Last few occasions he's just got on the wrong side of the referee, and on both occasions right in front of an official.
Yeah, he just needs to calm down, really, because we know he's aggressive in his challenging. Loves to get forward, as we saw a couple of times in the first half, but just too many times where he's just trying to be a bit too aggressive in those duels. The referees clearly had enough dishing that yellow card, so he's just got to be careful for the rest of the game as Bird.
Closer to Coburn.
Chinners, run across the line. Stay on side, Chin.
Martin shoots, good hands, Kenyon. Doesn't concede the corner or spill it, conceding any perhaps potential danger. Really good save. Generous height from him, didn't have to get down too low. You can sometimes maybe overlook saves, Ben. If you're a defender, you're delighted with that.
No, you are. It was a good height for him, decent pace. But just give him confidence as well.
Cresswell to Kenyon.
Now go Natty on his touch.
Good header from Billett. stretched under pressure. Chopped it back to Pickles. Now across to Will Firth. Good tempo here from Leeds. Under a lot of pressure there. Force wide. Kept it nice and composed. Bird, lucky here. Right, of course, we saw a Pompey player replaced at half time, and well, Kevin Bird has just got 2 into the game, but referee didn't penalise him for that challenge, but Pompey were asking for the card and the free kick, Ben, and I don't think he'll get another one.
Almost like they just let the game kind of play on, which thankfully for Bird was the case, and seeing his strength there going forward yet again. Portsmouth nearly getting behind with that pass, but yeah, for Bird, again, it's a part of your learning development, just learning to just calm down a little, touching your challenges. Again, we like to see players be aggressive on the front foot, but it's knowing when to do that at the right time.
McDonald gets away from trouble, gives Morris space in terms of Vincent. This is probably the first foray into Pompey's half for a long time, if not the entire second half. Vincent uses Render as a decoy runner, goes for goal, fires wide, but much better from Leeds, injecting that pace into it, and as they did, Pompey couldn't catch them.
Yeah, and as we saw in the first 45, anytime we inject that tempo into his build-up play, the passing between the lines, get the ball out wide to Vincent, to McDonald, and that's where we've caused Portsmouth the trouble. That occasion it was Vincent cutting inside. Shot always going wide in the end, but good positive play.
Just fell asleep there. Allowed Luke Straight to be free and unmarked. Wide to McDonald. They're down in back play, so the game will come to a halt. 5 minutes or so for Leeds to adjust the new player onto the pitch. And again, I say nearly every year as it's Will Firth down injured. Let's hope again for him. He's up on his feet soon enough. Yeah, we do see it every year in this FA Youth Cup, and rightly so. You never want to sit here and go, "Oh, it was easy. It was 5-0. Walked it." You would from our biased perspective, but you just don't seem to get that, do you? It's so many teams want to go all the way, and there is often shock, progression from teams that are not in the Premier League system. There's a modern, I guess, outlook where that people think that Premier League youth teams are going to be just as good and dominate, and that isn't always the case.
No, it isn't, and for ourselves, we're a Category 1 academy, so we'll play against the teams within that Category 1, and it doesn't mean we're so-called in a higher division or better because we are a Category 1. You do come up against the likes of your Portsmouths who aren't in that system, but still have very good players, good academy systems as well. So all it does, it throws up different challenges, and challenges where you know you have to be bang at it every single minute, because if you aren't, you get found out. And this is the challenge that we saw last year on our route to the final. Different ways of playing, different challenges, getting over the line. We overcome so many which were great to see, and again, full credit to that group of players and staff involved last season, because it was a challenge, but everyone stood up to that challenge. And just going back to the highlights of the goal, 3 minutes in, Vincent does so well, doesn't he, Tom? Stands the cross up, header home by Render, perfect start, settles any nerves that the players might have. And this is the goal to put us 2-1 back in front. Vincent at the heart of it yet again. 2 minutes just after Portsmouth had got that equalising goal, and McDonald, who's been brilliant tonight so far, coming in at the back stick, taps it home eventually, and that's where we are at the moment, 2-1.
Yeah, really passionate celebrations as well, and you can see so many players, they love representing this football club. As substitution is going to be made, so Leeds are going to send on Aidan Thompson. That will further this evening over, but the positive, if you are to take it, is that he's walking off the pitch with the physio around the pitch. So he isn't able to continue, but our thoughts go out to him. We hope we see him back in action very soon. Cresswell goes along looking for Vincent, looks onside. Render's making a bursting run towards the penalty spot. Still goes Vincent, turns inside, shooting opportunity. Found the target, just doesn't have the required power to trouble a goalkeeper, but he made it look relatively easy to turn inside originally, Ben.
No, he did. But Cresswell's distribution tonight has been great. Whether he's gone short, whether he's kept it simple, or whether he's mixed it up by going in behind. The space is there, but the pass has to be not perfect, but into a good area. The right weight on it, and Cresswell's certainly got that in his locker. It's a great option to use with the pace with Vincent.
Should be at least third. Took a nick off the Pompey player. The sarcastic cheers you can hear are associated to fans of Leeds United. They had a foul throw here, which is really costly for Leeds. Thompson pleading his innocence, but seem to see a few more of those in the recent weeks, so not a good sign. That's at all levels as well, Premier League included. And Leeds don't have to panic, even though conceding that throw, they win an early goal kick. Did you ever do any foul throws, Ben? Let's be honest.
No. To be fair, I remember one time the academy manager taking me for throwing practice after training, which was, not a career highlight, should I say.
So what we try to say is we had a set piece coach before it was a thing.
We were ahead of his time. That's what I like to think.
Well, modern day throw-ins often overlooked. I think some of them do walk the tightrope. Leeds have unfortunately fallen short of it. Fingers crossed that's the only occasion tonight as Leeds attack. Bird trying to get in behind the Pompey defence. Concedes a foul, and again just chipping away at the Pompey players, an aggressive style to his play. The referee wasn't having any of it. Immediately stops it for a free kick.
Good Jacob, good Jacob! Well done, Jacob! Excellent!
Ball forward. Render being applauded for his work up front, and he's barely had any opportunities Render to score. The only one he has, took it.
Get it, Bill, Bill!
Again, Pompey's players just been encouraged to try and up the ante defensively. Pickles has put Cresswell under pressure, who's trying to deal with it. He does. This Pompey team refusing to give up, and get the impression Leeds will need a couple of goals to ensure this tie is put to bed, such is the way that Pompey are playing. Good interception from Thompson. It's out for yet another throw. New ball needed, as the backup ball boy is not exactly committed to the cause. I've walked up faster than the stairs at the Cop. 30 minutes left.
Yes, Render, yes, Render! Yes, Josh! Yes, Josh! Good, good!
Challenge from Bird is unlucky.
Come on, yes, out!
Another crafty header. Referee's got a free kick. He's been going about his work quite quietly, Ben, as Joe Billett. He's won a lot of aerial duels, good interceptions, big frame about him. He's used it to his advantage as well.
Yeah, especially on the defending set pieces. His positional side of the game's been great. He attacks the ball so well, and that's what you want to see in a young centre-half, because it's not a thing that's coached so much in youth football anymore. The kind of old-fashioned heading and clearing in training don't particularly work on that aspect of the game too much, but I know Rob Everington and his staff try and encourage that a lot, especially in the centre-halves.
Good work from Morris. 2 number 10s going at it. Thompson flies in as well. Pompey get the call from the throw. Pickles nips in. It's been another asset of his game today. He's made so many interceptions tonight. Render beaten in the air. Strong challenge comes in, but Leeds can pick up the pieces. Less than half an hour left, and a bit of gamesmanship here. Kenyon just making Pompey come out of that structure of theirs. Quite early to be slowly eating the clock, but such is the decision from George Kenyon.
Chin is drop if it goes. Chin is drop, steady drop. Following out, bouncing. Harry inside.
Really nice play from Billett into Chadwick. McDonald takes on several players, just glides across the park. Josh McDonald out towards Vincent.
Teo, start creeping. Start creeping now. Pick your moment. Chin, pick your moment. Go, Tay.
Hold closer. Go on, Aid, you can come in.
Patient this from Leeds. First time in what seems an awful long time they've actually had the opportunity to do this. Pompey's pressurising, dropped off a little. Apart from this ongoing duel between Chioma and Coburn Bird. That seems to have annoyed anybody playing in Pompey colours on the right wing. So he's turned his man. Pass forward though was rushed towards Harry Clark. Didn't need to be played too quickly. Of course, it's nearly that stage of the game, Ben, when we start discussing the fitness, because you know these are young men, players cramping up, a huge pitch. This is often where youth cup ties are decided last 25 minutes.
No, you're right. There's no wonder, because, as I mentioned, the different build-up, the adrenaline, the nerves, they all play a part, and your tired bodies, tired minds do happen the final parts of these FA Youth Cup games. You're hoping the experienced players we do have out there, the ones who've played a lot of under-21s football, that experience will be a factor in the remaining part of this game. But the way to save your energy is by keeping the ball, move it at a tempo, let Portsmouth tire by trying to chase us down, move them about the pitch.
Pickles. This was his first receiver, then Pickles back across to Billett. Here's Cresswell back into Pickles again, who's just at least tick along the park tonight. McDonald down the line to Bird. Good ball in, just a bit too close to the goalkeeper. It was begging for a touch. Render couldn't provide it due to the interception. McDermott's been good at that tonight, coming off his line to help. Clearance from Cresswell. Germans in possession, forced a little wide though. Teasing ball in. The Pompey players missed it, and that's a big warning sign for Leeds. If they feel this game is going to be comfortable, Pompey should really have done better there.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity wasted by Portsmouth, because not too long before that attack, we had Bird crossing the ball up the other end, and we didn't fill his position in, and you can't expect Bird to get back into that left-back spot. Yeah, we get the ball away, made the mistake, but you should still be alert and alive to fill in for your players who are out of position. And just a little warning sign because the game just started to stretch a little bit. Maybe down to those tired bodies we were just on about, Tom.
And Morris. Back to Cresswell. You know he's Kenyan.
Go on now, go! Michael, hold!
Yes, go. Yes, go.
Hold
Spin
right.
it.
So Pickles pulled back as he was trying to get to Bird's through ball. Could be a card. Just a let off for Nathaniel Chioma. He's still leading all goals in the first half. 627 in attendance tonight at Fratton Park. Under pressure, Billett has to be careful where he goes for that pass next time. Kenyon back to the centre half. To Bird. Donald gets away just when you think he's about to lose possession. Gets a free kick. I'm sure our games couldn't have been played on there. And again. A lot of confusion on all ranks whose free kick it should be and where. Eventually Leeds get the game back underway. Thompson. Forey forward from the substitute right back. To get back goal side now as Martin comes forward. Good block from Pickles, who, I say, Ben, we mention him more and more as the game's in Pompey's favour, but in a respectful way. Interceptions, working hard. Modernised number 4 has to do that, and he's done it very effectively.
No, he has. Again, just his positional play for someone so young. Just seems to be in that area of the pitch where the interceptions are a big part of the game, and just going about his business ever so quietly, a bit effective tonight.
There's Billett.
Keep it there, stay, get ready, over with it.
Sarcastic cheers from the Leeds fans situated in that section of Fratton Park. Tunnel back to Pickles. Leeds just trying to control proceedings. Take the sting out of the Pompey players, and we said it about tiredness, Ben. As they say, you're not often any more tired than you are when you're chasing the ball for large parts of the game. And it can also have a mental effect when you maybe dishearten you a little bit. Leeds seem to be just adjusting the tactics for now and are just looking to keep possession, take no risks.
Yeah, what Portsmouth have done in the first half, they had a high press. We were just seeing them drop a little bit deeper, and it's allowing us to keep the ball a little bit better. But you just don't want us to fall into that lull where you're thinking it's too easy, especially in these positions where the centre halves have plenty of touches, plenty of time on the ball. We still want to move it a bit quicker, bit of tempo as well, just to not let us get into that mindset of thinking it's going to be too easy.
Here's Cresswell now. Just looking for Vincent. Morris working hard as well just to make sure things are not easy for the Pompey midfield and defence. Ball pass out wide, and maybe a sign of that tiredness, lack of awareness. And what looked a simple ball for a player of Agu's quality goes astray. 2 changes for Pompey, sending on George Wilson for Agu. Also coming on is the number 18, which is so there's Conor May and George Wilson. And as well, Pompey's number 5, which is Ashton Sizer. So a little break in play, just gives the management a chance to make a few alterations, Ben, discuss a few tactics, update anything they want to see, because 20 minutes will go by pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's just the simple messages to remind the players what they need to do, especially in possession. As we mentioned, just move that ball quick when we have done it throughout this 72, 73 minutes. We have looked a good team. Get the fluids on board. Get the energy gels as well, I'm sure, because it's going to be a big 20 minutes or so with a stoppage added on. Just a final push towards the end of the game, and you're in the hat for the next round, but we've got to stay alert, we've got to stay alive. There's going to be plenty of challenges for this remaining 20 minutes or so.
Back to Kenyon, the pressure immediately from the substitute and Conor May. Clearance from Coburn Bird, effective enough. Might not have been his intended distribution area, but got his body in the way. Stepping across here is Henry Clout to take this latest Pompey corner. Ball delivery. At the near post. Render, the ones that were leading the charge out from the back. There's Pickles to clear for a bit more territory. Render goes in again. He's lucky not to get the rebound. All a bit chaotic. No one had control of that as Leeds go in with a challenge. Pickles gives away a free kick according to the official. Leeds claim that was shoulder to shoulder.
And it was. Fair challenge, and you can see the frustration, especially on McDonald's face. He was the closest player to the action, but now the referee's given the free kick, and even though for Render, the number 9 chasing down there, conceding possession for Portsmouth, getting pressurised, nearly wins it back there, does Render. It's not the service this second half, has it, Tom? But his work rate's been great to see.
Yeah, it really is. Working hard for the group, got the first goal, classy header. Vincent goes back to Cresswell now and just stretches the play for Leeds, gives them a bit more space. Charge again from Pickles, with a brick wall in that midfield. Bit of a trip as he gets away. Here's Chadwick. Now Morris, McDermott making an inside run. Vincent goes inside for now and takes them on here. Harvey Vincent, it's tremendous speed. Still growing the Leeds number 7, just needed a bit more space. Too quick for his own good, but when he originally set off, Ben, nobody could get near him in blue.
No end. That's where he wants that little bit of half a yard of space, doesn't it? Because that injection of pace, Portsmouth defenders and midfielders trying to track back as well, can't keep up with him.
Into Cresswell. Turn on Thompson. Full throttle. Pompey claiming it was fair enough. Cresswell gets involved. Thompson slow to get to his feet. We are going to have a bit of a... It's an excuse for any of them here to just get themselves involved. Referee does need a new notebook just for this incident alone. Is that many that's got involved in this? Is it necessary, Ben? Was it a worthy challenge of this?
I think it is a yellow card worthy challenge. You can see the players just having a little chat. A couple of handbags thrown about. Nothing untoward, let's be honest.
It's very aggressive chat. When we have chats, we don't chat like this.
Yeah, we're usually chatting about how bad your NFL team's doing, to be honest. I'm sorry for bringing that up, Tom, but that's a different conversation altogether.
Going back, do you think they've used this, Pompey, as a way to try and get back into the game?
Maybe, and that's the kind of way they might see getting back into it, just to spark something out of nothing. I'm not sure why Reece Chadwick's going into the book. He seemed one of the calmest ones involved in that melee, but someone always going to pick up a yellow card. Unfortunately, it's going to be Chadwick. I think the referee's got the wrong person there. But we just need to be careful of just igniting that fire within Portsmouth, because we have been in control for the last probably 10 to 15 minutes. Don't want to spark something. Backs against the wall for the remainder of the game due to something we can avoid. But again, that's something we're just going to have to deal with.
Pompey's ball. Whether or not they were actually complaining of a free kick, as taking it quickly. Players got to be careful. Minutes left of proceedings, and the referee just wants to bring a halt to the game and have a word. He's been having a word with the referee as well. Pressure again from Morris. I mentioned Render's work, but Morris has only really had one opportunity to get the ball down and attack, and he set Vincent away for the second goal, so he's done his bit, but it's the work ethic of the two front players. And it's not often going to be pretty, is it? You're not often going to have like the highlight reel stuff where you can watch it in training about a pass or a goal. It's just as effective, if not more worthy, because when you're in a bit of a scrap bin like we are tonight, hard work beats everything else.
Well, it certainly does, and it's been a game, especially the first 45 minutes, where McDonald and Vincent were the attacking threats. The next game, it could be our number 9, it could be our number 10. And that's just the way football tends to work out. Very rarely you get all four just absolutely on fire, getting all the service evened out throughout a game. But it's not going your way in terms of getting on the ball. As you mentioned rightly, Tom, it's having that other side of the game which is so effective to your team, and why the manager will pick you every single game, because he can trust you.
That's one looking for Thompson, just over hit it. Has done well. Wins a free kick. He'll have to be carded here, the Pompey man. He's going to stop the game. Vincent went for a very quick lob and not a million miles away. And that's because the referee didn't have time to get his book out and book the number 6. I think it's Luke Strait that's being carded. And Renda did well. He got his body there, but to win the foul as well, it's a old school striker sort of performance.
Yeah, almost on cue. It's almost like he's got a little earpiece in, listening to not Ant and Deck but Tom and Ben just on about on cue the work rate, and comes up with a big Not a big free kick, but just a timely one, just to settle us down on the halfway line, push us up the pitch.
Yeah, I wish we got sent to Australia for 3 weeks at this time of year. This Cresswell gets towards that loose pass. Good flick on needed. He's just getting away from territory. It really has been a scrap, this. There'll be prettier games on the eye for the 18s this year, but what it'll do for their confidence if they can come through this for a tough few results. It was 5-4 to Newcastle, 3-0 to Borough, 3-0 as well to Manchester United in recent weeks. There's also an 8-0 scoreline in there as well. I alluded to it earlier, a young team playing for the 18s in the league this season due to that success of the 18s and the 21s. So far, they're doing their bit tonight. They've got to do more here though as Kenyon gets his body behind the ball. Relatively easy save, nice height for him just to pat it down into the floor. But still another warning sign, Ben, that to be fully comfortable, Leeds need a third. Doesn't look like they're going to get it, so it's an arm wrestle to the end.
Yeah, never mind the players to be comfortable. I think it's for me and you just to settle down for the remainder of the game, because even though we have been in charge of the second half, scoreline as it is, can possess.
Pickles was a fair one according to the ref. Wilson clears, referee's whistle goes beforehand, there's a Pompey player down, and again, do hope there's nothing serious in this. I hope it is cramp. He was holding the knee at first, but it gives, again, when the player goes down, it's a chance for others to stretch. Leeds are making 4 or 5 players come over for a drink, others are discussing tactics. Ben, this is where Rob Etherington and his coaching team will get the last say to get them over the line.
No, it is, and it's mentally as well. Can you stay switched on the restart? And yeah, first bit of cramp, a lot later than I think we both imagined it to be, but now we're seeing a couple more substitutions just to freshen things up.
So Logan White. Vincent is coming off, so we've got 10 for 17 sees Morris replaced by Louis Whitehead, and 7 for 19 sees Harvey Vincent replaced by Logan White. So the 2 new men onto the pitch, and again, you never know where these players could end up in years to come. Throughout the years of FA Youth Cups, you do see some players that have represented the club very early doors in their academy structure and go on to all the way with this fantastic club. And best that there's no pressure to do that. You just hope they have a successful time with the club and can develop and come through the ranks. We hope we then cover them for the 21s, and who knows where they go from there. Reception only there for Whitehead, gets his toe to the ball. Now Cresswell. There's a strong challenge coming on the far side. I don't think the Leeds player appreciated the foul on Chadwick, so Logan White has been watching Coburn Bird. And his first involvement, he hasn't even touched the ball yet, is to give away a free kick and get booked.
I think we'll be grateful for the referee actually blowing up for the foul. So initially Portsmouth were in down the left-hand side, but the referee brought it back for the free kick. But
do you think that was a foul on Chadwick?
I was going to say, I think there's not too much dissimilar in terms of the way the challengers went in, and the frustration for Chadwick. He bounced up expecting a free kick. A few seconds later, one's been given for the exact same thing.
Good hands from Kenyon again. He's been really important in that department, and there is no sign of him taking a quick throw in. He's not happy with rushing things. It's a case of sitting on that and biding his time. Thoughts on the keeper's performance so far, Ben?
It's been cool and calm, really, especially in those situations. He has got the size to come and command his penalty area. It's another thing, going out and doing what he has done. And the times they slow the game down at the right moments, especially that situation, and that's what you want as a defender. Know your keeper can come for those type of crosses, just take that pressure off everybody and push everybody up the pitch.
Billet under pressure. May, the one that's charging down after him. Really good block from Logan White, who's just been sent on to work as hard as possible and disrupt on that right wing. Good header as well from Leeds, trying to pen Pompey in. Header from Pickles, wins a free kick, and just what Leeds needed. Billet again complaining at the players kicking the ball away, slowing things down, but not 100% certain. Ben, that Leeds go for broke here and put it in the box. It might be a controlled finish this with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that's what you'd like to see. Seeing Pickles, Billet talking to people around them. Seem to have loaded the numbers into the box, trying to get that third to kill the game off.
Away by Pompey. Good header as well. Here's McDonald. Perhaps meant to make a foul there, I think, just slow things down, but didn't need to in the end. Pickles back to cover. Risky pass across the pitch as Chadwick keeps hold.
Find the middle, Ollie, find the ball.
By Kenyon on his weaker foot, still not the territory needed. Pickles again, another header. Chadwick wide, clever play. He can substitute Logan White into the piece, and now he's going to drive down the wing. And I think you just described the game earlier as a bit of an arm wrestle. Perhaps the biggest we've seen for a while for the 18s and 21s team.
Yeah, I think so, and it's been a really good test for these young players tonight.
Donald, out wide it goes, offside against Logan White, just when Leeds could have killed the game off. Looked close, but Pompey are in no rush. In the first parts of the game, they're in a big rush now. Time is against them. They're going to force the extra time. Into the box they go. Leeds refusing to dive in. Shot comes in. Potential offside. Not given, in fact. As Martin turns inside, he'll go for goal. Kenyon makes the save. Strikers taps it in. And Pompey do have their equaliser. And Leeds United at the death. Fallen asleep. And it was scrappy, contentious call originally to see if the first man wasn't offside. And Connor May, perhaps Billet playing him on, but from there, crafty from the fullback, Ben, and Pompey get an equaliser.
Yeah, something out of nothing, wasn't it? I think we managed to clear his lines. It was a tight offside call. We're not in line with it. We can't really see, can we? It's a major blow as the clock ticked into the 90th minute as well.
Well, Leeds would have gone for that holding strategy. They weren't going all out to score. Here's Chadwick. Maybe Leeds looking for a last-ditch moment. Pickles, White to McDonald. Birds try to get back on side. He's done that. Ball in, though, was lacking power. Pickles, Chadwick. Free kick. Foul there. And Logan White, I mean, Pompey knew what they were doing. They just wanted to slow him down and not allow any Leeds attack. Very interesting to see how this game pans out now, because Leeds were just steadily going through the motion, just trying to see the game out, not panicking, not taking any risks. Now they're the team that's pushing for a goal. Quick loop to the far post, cleared away by Pompey. They've got extra bodies back as well. He was booked, by the way, in the last few seconds. The goal scorer for Pompey. Coming to Cresswell. He's looking to expand the pitch, just too far in front of Chadwick. Going against Leeds here to get the ball down the pitch if they want to win it, and to avoid the added on time. Donald gets it to Bird. Down the line to Render, who's got goal side. Cut back was on. Good defending in the end from Pompey. Martin beaten to it by Bird. Two left backs go at it. Important Bird doesn't concede a free kick. Pompey will concede a throw. What they're just doing with Render getting in behind, there was an opportunity for Leeds. You know, here's Pickles. He just started to add some pace to the play. Now the goal's gone in. I wonder if they'll regret that. Maybe they're slowing down on the game in those last 10 minutes. Could they have gone for the jugular and tried to kill this game off? Pompey throw. It's almost like a switch has been flipped, and it's almost like Leeds were just thinking, we've done this, and then all of a sudden it's like, right, we better do this now.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, some of the results for the under-18s in their campaign, and even though this team's not played collectively in that league, predominantly on Saturday mornings, well, you're not used to winning games of football. That can creep in back of your mind, almost subconsciously play out, and I think that's just been the case really, because there's been no danger. All of Portsmouth causing us any trouble, and you always run that risk when it's just a goal advantage, trying to run the clock down. Portsmouth get a goal out of nothing and staring extra time in the face.
Bird. Not surprised if Pompey try to take him out. There it is. Slowing the game down. I mean, if that's the number 6, then he was penalised early. That's what Pickles is trying to explain. Why is that not a yellow card? I mean, first of all, Bird's in more discomfort than perhaps the referee realises, so the physio is going to come on. He's even got a little headrest, which is nice. I mean, if that is a yellow card offence, then Leeds have a case, Ben.
Yeah, I'm surprised the referee hasn't had a word with the Portsmouth player. You can see the Leeds players asking the question, rightly so.
Possessed. Pompey setting the traps. Now May's coming forward. Two players going for the same ball. Leeds have plenty of bodies back behind the ball. Strong challenge from Thompson. Now McDonald, this game continues into the 97th minute. There is the full-time whistle. So Leeds' 91st minute goal they conceded, 93rd should I say, is the punisher, and frustration. Extra time it is, coming up in the FA Youth Cup. We'll be back with you shortly. The second stage of this game, into extra time we go with Pickles out to Thompson. Now with Kenyon in possession. So Leeds shooting the way they started the game, in which they scored a couple of goals. Here is goal scorer May. A very passionate affair as well. Cards have been given out. There's been a lot of players getting at each other. I guess if you were a neutral, Ben, this is the sort of perfect FA Youth Cup time. I mean, the game hasn't been the best spectacle. 4 goals is still, a fantastic return at the office. There've been large parts that has been quite quiet, try to work each other out. But if you had to set on the fence, it's 2-2 straight to extra time. As the shot comes in from Pompey, Kenya makes amends from a poor pass. You would say it's got all the drama this competition deserves.
Yeah, and over the years we've seen so many moments, times of the games pan out, play out like they have done, and when you just think we're going to get over the line, done enough to do so. Be a great win away from home, 2-1. Get into the hat for the next round. Portsmouth have different ideas, Pegger's back, but that's the beauty of this cup competition, isn't it, Tom? Always throws up unexpected little moments.
Thompson. Cresswell. And now Billet. So back to Kenyon. And Pompey again working hard. The introduction of a new forward certainly helped their cause. Singer dropped into like another 10 role now, allowing Connor May to lead the line, and that's put Leeds' defence under more pressure. Pass out from Cresswell, putting Thompson under pressure. Pompey trying to feed off that. The fans showing off a bit of skill. Got a lot of time for it. Why not? Why not run down the line and pick the ball up and head it back into play? Love it.
Inside and close. Someone close inside.
There's Cresswell.
Bill, closer. Bill, play closer, Bill.
Take over!
Stretch curves.
Again, both benches constantly giving out instructions for each player. Trying to find a weakness in the opposition. White making a run, asking for the ball back. Pickles makes a poor touch, but then flies in to keep Leeds on the front foot. Here's Bird. To Rendo show good strength. Just stay on his feet for the attention he was receiving from Pompey. Pompey conceded a free kick, much to their surprise. Haven't seen anything wrong with that personally, Ben, but there's been a few, hasn't there?
Yeah, I was going to say there has been a few little incidents like that. That's not helped the rhythm of the game. Not saying it's been stop-start by any stretch, but we're just trying to create that extra rhythm now as the offside flag is up on the far side. He's going to send him off here.
Coleman Bird is going to be dismissed for kicking the ball away.
What?
Well, the whistle sounded, but I mean, I've seen some incidents for time wasting, but I mean, that isn't it. In an FA Youth Cup tie, to send a player off for that,
Look, the game's gone. Honestly, the referee just trying to make a name for himself, stand out. Well, book the goalkeeper for that incident, wasting time booting the ball there. You cannot send players off for that. Common sense has to come into your playing decision making, because not even common sense, it's just not a red card. That cannot be a red card in a game of football, no matter what level it is. That is just ridiculous.
Yeah, such a disappointing way for Coleman Bird's night to go out. And of course, we said he was so passionate. You'd have thought he might have gone out with coming off the bench and being subbed for some disciplinary rules, but not for that. Leeds have tried to use it as a chance to galvanise themselves, and Chadwick goes for it. Misplaced, so Leeds will adjust the tactics. Chadwick feeling the pace of the game. McDonald putting it back in the box for Render, and Logan White just teeing it up. But yeah, really, really sour note for the start of this extra time to start. Logan White getting a word of encouragement. He's been booked since coming off the bench. He put a crunching challenge in, but he's been very busy as a sub, and these youngsters doing themselves proud, giving it their all for the club in what has been a real tough battle this.
Josh, we're in the line. Yes, Josh, we're in the line.
Chadwick's felt the effects of that challenge, just slow to get to his feet. Good work from Pickles. Just a touch too far in front, but at least give Leeds a chance. Now Pompey are on the attack. Cresswell clears behind for a corner. And again, Pickles in the way at the right place. Set piece wanted by Pickles, not ignored by the officials. He's having to do it the hard way in the start of this extra time period. Challenge on Render is a strong one. And Teo Singer's been yellow carded. And Leeds will ask, what's the difference?
What's the difference? Why is there no advantage? The referee is having an absolute stinker in this extra time period.
Leeds players asking again for the official why the call hasn't been made.
Place the ball, switch on, concentrate. No corner. Come on, Tom. Follow it. Put it off, put it out, put it down. You're in, Harry. Harry, you're in.
Bullet goes forward with a header into midfield for Whitehead. Misplaced pass. Pickles dives on the ball. And behind, offside appeals, and they're heard 5 minutes after the second of the first half of extra time.
Fellas, keep looking for spaces. Come on, stay on court, big moment. No corner, energy. Over now, over, follow it, follow it. Second bit, stay in.
Pickles another header. Gives Whitehead something to chase. Want to get there first. Another interception. Render asking for it in behind, not given. Chadwick instead will go forward and now tries to pick out Logan White. He goes for goal. Yes! And Logan White dives at the ball. Tremendous finish. And the young man off the bench has made a real name for himself. Crunching challenges, all effort. And what a moment for Leeds United. Slides in, thumps it home. And it was close the first time, and the pass could have come, but second time around, he made no mistake. It's Portsmouth 2, Leeds United 3.
Backs against the wall, certainly not, Tom, because what a response. Going down to 10 men, you think we're going to a shells, but we've been great. 7 or 8 minutes since then, it's a great through ball, but what a composed finish, you have to say. Low and hard, goalkeeper's got no chance. Come on, the boys.
Yeah, cracking moment for him. Off the bench, the number 19. Just the sheer desire, Ben, perhaps wanted it more. I think more importantly, expected to get there. Maybe the Portsmouth man thought he was going to overrun it. Before they know it, it's in the back of the net.
So having the mentality to get into those positions, so easy, isn't it, to retrieve into your shape, into your shell, down to 10 men in extra time. A little nervy moment there, I'm not going to lie, but that's the most impressive thing about what we've seen in the last 7 to 8 minutes. That red card's come about, yeah, not great, but the players are still stuck to the guns, and then we've had the chance to get into the final third. We've committed, the quality from the pass, but it's all about the finish from Logan White, the run in behind, the composure. Great moment for him.
From Thompson, both players have a hold of each other's shirt. Call goes Leeds' way. I mean, Conor May was carded. To watch himself, not be able to walk himself into a book. In fact, the referee's actually decided to throw it instead, so there's no need to penalise the play and stop the game. Logan White, the goal scorer of the third goal, will take the throw. The encouragement we can take, Ben, is that Portsmouth's bench seems as perplexed as us about the refereeing performance.
Yeah, it's just not us being biased towards some of the decisions against the team in yellow. Been equally just as bad for Portsmouth as well.
Good challenge from Billett. stands his ground, keeps it alive as well. Chadwick running on nearly empty there. He's so tired. Strong challenge from Billet. It's a very strong challenge. He saw the ball. It's just a lot bigger than he first realises. The tired bodies require treatment. Just a talking to. I mean, again, I don't want our players to book. Of course, we want them to succeed, but of all challenges in this last 30 minutes, that's the worst.
All you ask as a player is consistency, don't you?
Yes, so confusing. Leeds break here. Both players went for the same ball, then both went without it. Pompey flying with the challenge. And everybody's getting frustrated here with the officiating. It's all about Leeds trying to use that to their advantage. Now the play stopped again. Brilliant pass that would have been.
Alex, keep going. These are all great tackles. Keep going. Get after it, go on, hang on. Come on, Theo, get ready.
There is half-time of extra time. 3-2 to Leeds United. Very quick turnaround. The goal from Logan White in the half-time extra time team talk. Have we ever seen that? Pompey players were all inside Leeds' half then as well. We'll stop being petty. Myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker, going through the motions here, getting emotionally involved. Portsmouth 2, Leeds 3. It was 2-1 to Leeds in normal time, but for a last-ditch equaliser from Pompey, but then Leeds took the lead in that first period of extra time. Good finish from Logan White in the 103rd minute. Sadly, Leeds are down to 10. Coburn Bird dismissed for, fair enough, yellow card first of all, but the second was for kicking the ball away when he thought it was onside. And a contentious call to dismiss the Leeds left back, but we have to learn and live with it. McDonald, Whitehead going for the same ball. Now Chadwick.
You need one, Fred. You need one.
Billet, of all people's the furthest forward. In the box he goes. Again, McDermott has caught so many of those passes straight off the line, and Leeds have got to get back. Pickles has got cramp making his way back, and it's going to be that sort of 15 minutes, Ben. You have to put everything on the line if you're a Leeds player. Render's limping. Players are going to be asked to do an awful lot out there. It's a great learning experience. It'll be even sweeter if they go on to win it. A huge test of character as well.
Yep, really is. We've shown plenty of that character, as you just mentioned, so far in this game. Got another 15 minutes to just get that little bit of extra out of each other. This is going to be the trouble now. It's hard enough with 11 players on the pitch, with all the cramp going on, but extra time, 10 men. I just hope it's not going to play a part in the outcome. Could easily do so. That's where you just got to grind your teeth. Just get through it as quick and as much as possible you can do.
Martin with a bit of speed up tactic to try and hope that Leeds quicken things up. From White, who's leads forward. Thompson going to watch this ball out again. A little bit naughty on a yellow card. These players are asking for. That's what I think. The thing is of what happens when you make calls in a game where Leeds feel that's not justified. Cohen Bird getting sent off. Conor May, who got the goal, then got booked. And yes, luckily Aidan Thompson didn't go over the hoardings, but the intention was there to unset them and push them and time waste and slow the game down. So Leeds have got every right to go. Why not?
Yeah, we really are getting petty in our old age here, aren't we, Tom? I'm blaming you on this, by the way.
I've not even started yet. If it goes to pens, I'm not even going to cover that. I'm just going to moan. Young man Fraser Thomas is going on for Pompey. Referee is now coming across, which I'm guessing is to discuss a matter with coach staff and fourth official. Explaining the matter now to the ref, and coming off was Harry Clout for the sub for Pompey. So back to Kenyon. So Leeds just trying to readjust again. They've got new players to try and mark, see what they're all about. Don't have long to adjust to them either. Chadwick gets back, free kick conceded.
Michael, pockets! Drive, George, drive! Take your time! Time on the ball!
Trust the win!
Tired bodies out there for Leeds, just doing anything they can to get a toe to the ball, a head to the ball. Render's gone to right midfield, but can barely move. Coming forward there is the number 2, Michael Aney. Shot across the face of goal. Leeds get a goal kick, but yeah, when you've got Render who's struggling to move around the park, coaching team have to make those calls. Did they try and bring those players off? Is he saying he's okay to continue? But you just seen it there. He headed it forward, but then he's just hobbling around the park, and there's a few in that same camp. Cramp, Niggles, Knox. This has been a real tough battle in which there'll be some sore bodies, I think, to maybe Thursday, Friday this week.
Yeah, and there's certainly no days off for these boys. Even when they're not out on the grass, they're in the education, doing the schooling, which is a big part of academy life. But yeah, the effort they've put in, these lads, it's been sensational to watch. So they'll put a little bit more into it as well, because Portsmouth still keep going.
McDonald, challenge. Goes to ground in. Louis Whitehead felt the effects of his challenge. Don't know if Josh McDonald kicked that ball in play, but he has. Still going, and still. Into Chadwick. Offside against Chadwick. Pompey player's gone to ground. And this extra time will feel like 30-40 minutes when you've got players from both teams going down with cramp, and it isn't player time wasted. This is just a general struggle of youth football.
Here it is. There's been plenty of times when I've been in this situation, and yeah, it's not fun one little bit. But that's about the development of the players, getting the body stronger, used to these types of situations, and it's just the occasion. They build it up in their own body and their minds. They have that nervous energy running throughout the body. All that lactic acid builds up. You get situations like this.
So down is Nathaniel Chioma. Pompey building out from the back. It's with Martin. Thompson racing to get back. Cresswell's there again. Keenan does what he can to just stay within his limits of his box. So goes again for a crowd of bodies on the floor. I mean, Render, I'm not surprised he's gone to ground. I've been in pain watching him walk around for 10 minutes. He really is struggling, bless him.
Yeah, my right calf's twinging by just watching what's going on here.
I got cramp watching all the pickles after 25 minutes. Never mind the amount of work he's put in, so no wonder he's limping about as well. And again, I mean, but it's one of those sort of nights, Ben, you know, you still talk about your FA Cup youth experience fondly. I mean, these players, you look at the other end of the country to go and get a job done, lose a man, extra time, you win. You've got the cramp, you've got the storage. You look back on this in 10 years when you're a player and think, that added to my development.
No, of course, and as I've mentioned quite a lot of times, especially this time of year comes around with the FA Youth Cup. My personal experience, I've had some unbelievable memories of my times within the Leeds United Academy, and never have any regrets, but the one thing I would have liked to have done is have a really good run in this FA Youth Cup, because it's so prestigious. As you mentioned at the start of the night, before the game kicked off, it's what you do look back on, even when players have made the professional debut. Hopefully some of these can have a long, successful career within the game as well. But you still look back on these types of games and hopefully with fond memories, because we've got 5+ the stoppage minutes to be played, and if we can get over the line in this one, it'll be certainly a great memory for these young boys to look back on.
Keep going, get ready, seconds to go.
Find it, Kes, mate.
Back in, Naeem, now.
Control out.
Challenge from Billett again. Really good play. You can see Kenyon screaming at him in praise for what he's just produced. Leeds still have work to do. This game is not over. But missed touches has given Pompey half a chance. Offside flag though against them. This is where Leeds can just slowly tick away some seconds. But they've been there before, and they'll try to see a game out. It went wrong in the 90 minutes. Back to Cresswell, who's probably been really happy tonight that he's playing centre-half rather than centre-mid in a game in extra time. Been able to marshal the troops from behind and done a good job of it as well. Just even Billett still got work to do in this last game. Billett's now gone to ground. He's in a bit of discomfort. Slow to get to his feet. Thumbs up from the young centre-half. Another Pompey player down. Getting flashbacks from last season, Ben, when these games would just seem to never end. It's all part of the journey, isn't it? This young man limping off and needing help to come off the field, so our thoughts are with him. As goal scorer Jacob Render's night is finally coming to an end, and what a performance from him. Jacob Watson is going to come on. And just a word on the goal scorer. The only time we saw him in possession was very few and far between. This has been an attritional night for the young man, and yet he's done nothing wrong.
thought he's led the line really well. Had that chance, put it away. Not too much service. It's been one of those nights, as we mentioned. A lot's gone into the wide areas as an attacking sense, but anytime the ball's got into him, he's looked after it well. And then the other side of his game, closing down, work rate, down to 10 men, filling a position on the right-hand side, getting cramps, still going again. No wonder he gets a big handshake from the manager, Rob Everington, on the sidelines, because he's epitomised the effort that the team put in tonight.
Poor touch cheered by those Leeds fans that have made the trip from whatever part of the country.
Go again, get after it. How many? Don't tell me he said 3. There's been 7 injuries. Do not tell me he's added on 3.
One more throw-ins for Leeds to win, just to here's Kenyon. Not for Rain, another one that's been struggling with cramp. Pompey coming forward. May try to get goal side. Great defending. One of the biggest celebrations of the entire night is for Jacob Watson, who's just come off the bench to do his job like that, and it just shows the camaraderie. One thing I did notice when he came on, Ben, Logan White was geeing up the players. He wanted to high-five teammates even when they'd messed up, and these players off the bench tonight have had to come on and do just that. A lot of it is about motivating yourself when you're in a tough spot. 3 minutes of stoppage time, which has not gone down well with the Pompey bench, I can tell you. But yeah, you often start to see the characters. We've got to speak to Reece Chadwick last year in the FA Youth Cup. You got to see how he played as a player with the attitude he brings to the team. And you find out these characters are in the group that are coming through the academy level in these games.
Yeah, and that's why it's a squad game. Here at this young age, there's a bit of banter with the fans in attendance there. Not very often see that at youth level, but still a big job to see now. And going back to that, Jacob Watson defending, superb by him, really was.
Two of headers between Chadwick and Logan White, and now they exchange it again. This is brilliant from the pair. Will he go corner flag? No, he'll go towards the 6-yard box, and McDonald, the manager in Ben Parker alongside me, begging them to go to that corner flag. He doesn't want any last-minute drama. He wants safety first.
I'll take the handbrake off, and nearly got out of my chair to celebrate that 4th goal, which would have cemented our place in the next round. I've got my wish though, we have got the ball in the corner.
Yeah, the tactics have come out. They've been told Parker asks for safety. Leeds get the throw. The amount of goals that Reece Chadwick's and the assists he's got for the 21s this year. He saw an opportunity to go near post. Still got the ball, Chadwick concedes a throw, but Leeds have at least penned Pompey in to their own half. I'd like to say there's a minute left, but this game, the way it's gone, the stoppages, the injuries, we might be here till 12. Cresswell clears all the way behind. And Pompey are running out of time. Another stoppage in the game the keeper's frustrated about. And it's because Leeds are turning to the bench to give Josh McDonald a chance to get a round of applause from the fans, sending on Callum Mills. And again, it's all about players getting opportunities to say they could play in the cup, and Mills will hope going forward he gets more minutes. But these are very young players just finding their feet in the game. He's just been sent on all-out defending. It's just 2 lines of attack versus defence this. We know what's coming. Tremendous header. Looked like Billett again. Chadwick flies in. Chadwick doesn't have the energy to go and pressurise the goalkeeper, and I don't wonder at all why. Put everything on the line as he does every week. He's onside, Chadwick. He's been told that. Again, he doesn't have the energy to get to that ball either. great ball in.
Set you down, Michael, go! Michael, go!
Another header from Billett. And a breakdown there. Pompey told to get to their feet by those in the crowd, I'm sure, after a really good effort. But the main thing is that Leeds United have come through this test. Extra time, 10 men, to show real heart and character. You can see what it means to the players. First round of the competition for the Whites is job done in the most horrible battle. But what that will do for them in the rest of this competition is anyone's guess. It could give them such a lift to go out there for the rest of this comp. They reached the final last year. You don't want to put pressure on the group and say they have to try and do something that's, again, similar. But such a good night for the club, Ben Parker.